Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with One Punch Man. Last time on One Punch Man, we had The Hunt Begins, where basically Garo was going around beating up heroes, including such heroes as Moomin Rider and Tank Top Master, and as well as the disciple of Bang. And then, what else did we get? Saitama bought a wig so that he can compete in a martial arts tournament to learn more about martial arts. And Garo tried to attack him, but that just didn't work. And I guess that was it. So, yeah. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of One Punch Man, like always, it's down in the description and in the pinned comment. You can go check that out. And we might as well get right into this episode of One Punch Man. Here we go. Okay, I don't know who the hell that guy was, so I don't think I should have recognized him. He's just a guy. But maybe he will, I don't know, maybe he'll be an important fighter in the tournament. Okay. Interesting episode. Very interesting. Get some of the motivations for Garo. And we get some good time with Metal Bat, which was cool. Not a lot of Saitama in this one. But that's okay. You're just killing time. No Genos at all. Not really much of the rest of the gang, too. Except, a little cameo by King. But again, that's okay. Still, good episode. So, let's go ahead and hop into the notes. The first thing I wrote down is not fair. It's not fair. Oh, it's not fair. Oh, I didn't realize that. So, kind of a silly motivation when you really think about it. Like, okay, so Garo wanted to be a monster because he just liked the monsters. And he always hated it. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And he always hated it when the hero would come in and beat the monster. And he was confused. Oh, how come the monsters don't get to win at least sometimes, Like, why isn't it fair? Well, because they're monsters. They're up to evil things, But the more I thought about it, I suppose that's from a certain point of view, I suppose you could say it's from a certain point of view, because this might get a little philosophical, but while a lot of people in society would say, well, they're monsters and they are defeated because they're evil, there would be some people like Garo, monsters, that say, no, they're not evil, I guess maybe it's one of those things where, like, okay, I was going to say, maybe it's one of those things where, like, you have a villain who's doing everything, but they don't really know that it's evil. Like, to them, what they're doing is good, Even if it is sort of, maybe not, maybe they know it's not good, per se. I don't know. Or maybe, like, I'm explaining this horribly, but maybe it's, sort of like a necessary evil sort of thing. But the thing is, Garo doesn't act that way, Garo just says, well, sometimes evil should win. Yeah, I know I'm evil going around killing heroes, hunting heroes, but it doesn't matter. I'm evil, but I should be allowed to be evil, I guess. I don't know. It's like, oh, monsters want things. Yeah, they want to be evil. But I don't know. It's a whole tricky thing, and what I was saying about, like, from a certain point of view, people would say, like, oh, well, if society says, like, oh, this thing is evil, that thing might not say that, Like, hell, look at, stuff in the past 100 years or so, like, Nazis or even, communists or anyone, just like a group of people, other people say, like, oh, well, they're evil. The Nazis never said they were really evil, really. Like, yeah, there were some, obviously, there were Germans that went against Nazi Germany, but there were a lot of Nazis, not just they were only following orders. There were a lot that, were diehard believers, And, yeah, and it's the same thing, and that kept going even after, the fall of Nazi Germany, into, the Cold War with the communists, the whole Red Scare, those communists, well, they're evil and stuff. The communists in the USSR, they say, no, we're not evil. We're good. It's capitalism that is evil. Then you go over to the capitalists, the capitalism's not evil, it's that, and you just keep pointing fingers, Now, sometimes it's almost hard to point the fingers. You look at some stuff, it's how evil is this? And it's maybe not as a base concept, but things they do are evil, Now, there are some things, I'm going on a huge tangent right now, but it's there are some things that's no, at the foundation of this base idea is still evil, technically, And being a monster kind of falls into that. It's okay, if you're a monster, what is the definition of monster if not creature that murders for no reason, a creature that breaks the rules and stuff? Which I guess in this society there's the difference between criminals and monsters specifically, which is why, criminals are just people that, they're just humans that break the law. Monsters are non-humans, basically. But Garo is the exception, that he is, most people would classify him as just a criminal murderer, assaulter, basically. But he classifies himself as a monster despite being human. So it's just sort of one of those things. It's not like, My Hero Academia, where it's no, it's just villain, basically. Now, granted, I guess you could say there is potentially a difference between just a criminal and a villain, but the only difference between a criminal and a villain is if a hero is involved, really. You're a villain once a hero shows up. Other than that, if it's just the police, generally you might not be classified as a villain, just a criminal. But even still, it's very much a thin line between villain and criminal. Whereas there is technically still a more defined line between criminal and monster in this show. But Garo is sort of, crossing that line, I guess. But that's the thing. He thinks, it's not fair to the monsters. Why is it good always wins? Why does good have to win? Why can't they win? Why can't it be fair? Because they're fucking monsters, Okay, if you think about it, you have, it's not that, they're these, hideous creatures and stuff. It's no, it's because they're fucking attacking and killing and, hurting people. That's what makes them monsters, If this, this new big guy, Centacharo, if Centacharo, worked at a soup kitchen, nobody's ever really going to classify him as a monster. Now, if there was something a monster that was an outstanding citizen, but he kept getting called monster, well, that starts to dip into prejudices, But that's not really what we're talking about. The thing with this is that it's how come, all the monsters get treated, so horribly? Why do they have to lose to the heroes? Because they're fucking monsters. Because that's a choice they make. That's the difference, It's not that, they just are monsters, It's that's just how they were born to hurt people. It's no, you have a choice. You don't have to do that shit, The same choice of Garo becoming a monster, that's his choice, was to become a monster. So that's the thing, That's the thing. Did any of that actually make sense? That was one of those tangents that just sort of goes, and then it goes, and then it keeps going. But that's just sort of my thoughts on that. Back to the other stuff. So we had Class S heroes guarding the executives, which was interesting. because why is it that Garo, specifically went after? Oh my god, excuse me. I'm sorry about this. Why is it that Garo specifically went after, one of the executives instead of a hero? But they do say he's basically targeting the entire hero association. So in order, basically when someone goes out, when one of the executives goes out, they need a Class S hero there. Which is, I'm sure, because obviously we heard King give his excuse of not going there. And obviously we know that's not what he was actually saying, because we know that he's not powerful at all. So he would try to get out of that job. I would love to hear Tornado's response. I kind of miss Tornado. Like, we haven't had her pretty much at all this season. I'd love to get a bit more of her. I would have loved to have heard, because she got fucking mad at everything. We talk about her. She's the tsundere hero, definitely. And I kind of miss that, and so I would have loved to have heard how she responded to that call, So yeah, and that's why Metal Bat was with them. He had to skip out on shopping with his sister in order to take the director and his son to peasant food. I thought that was really funny. I was like, "Oh, this is what the peasants eat, Father. Why are we up so high, Father?" Anyway, so I thought that was really funny, and then them not knowing, like, oh, they think that they put the dishes back, but that's not how it works, because the dishes are there so that they can figure out how much to bill you. And Metal Bat getting frustrated about that. I thought that was really funny. And then we had the whole fight with all the centipedes and stuff, which was very interesting. Great designs on them, definitely. Like, and it's not just centipedes, because there was also the sort of vile plume creature that was cool. And then the one centipede, what was it? Wasn't it like Senta Senpai or something? Like, I don't fully remember. The only one I wrote down is Senacharo, but those designs were pretty cool. And then when you get the really big guy, and honestly, they do look like fucking Ko the Face Stealer, which obviously they're all based on these centipede designs. So I thought they were very, very interesting. And I'd be curious to see what they're going to do next with Senacharo, because Metal Bat is now dealing with Garo. So I don't know, but that was really cool. And again, it was cool to see Metal Bat in action, because honestly, I mean, we didn't get a ton at the end of last season, where we have all but 2 of the Class S heroes there. And I don't know, like, I mean, there was some, but there was a lot of teamwork. It's like, okay, you have I don't remember the name of the samurai, but you have him there, and it's like, okay, they're slashing, and Metal Bat is hitting shit, and you have Silver Fang with his fist of flowing water, but none of them were really like shown off too much, like it was mainly showing Saitama going through, and then his eventual battle with Boros, and then for some of them, like okay, you have these like 4 Class S heroes working on this one guy and figuring things out. But because it's all 4 of them, they don't really show off one in particular. And then, obviously, the rest of it is kind of left to Tornado, because she can take care of all that shit, So that was really, really nice to have just a lot with Metal Bat and show how powerful he is. Because, when you first meet him, it's like, okay, this guy's a Class S hero, but he's just a fucking dude with a bat. How strong is this guy? And he's pretty fucking strong, I have to imagine, or I have to say, having seen it in this episode. So that was really, really cool. And then the whole thing with Senacharo was interesting, and it's like, oh, he can't break through the armor, but he can get to the face, which was pretty interesting. And I like too, it's like, oh, he gets knocked down, and Garo's like, oh, well, I guess he's dead. Oh, I wonder how they're going to. And then Metal Bat just walks by. It's like, oh, back to work. It's like, he's fine, honestly. It's like, he's kind of got a hit, but he gets back up. It's what he does. This is his job, This is what he does. So he's that strong. So I like that. And now, obviously, he's going to be facing Garo instead of facing Senacharo. It does make you wonder if the fight had gone on without Garo there, would Metal Bat have defeated Centauro? I don't know. I really love the name Centauro. I don't know why. Like, I know one of them wasn't it Senta Senpai? That was kind of dumb, but which it was fine. It was just a little goofy, but Centauro is really fucking cool, so I like that. And then the sort of subplot of this episode is Saitama as Chiranko waiting for the tournament. That was interesting, and that talk with fucking Big Chin. I don't even know who voices that guy, the other guy from the dojo. He sounded familiar, but I couldn't place him, so hopefully you guys can let me know in the comments. But yeah, I like that and that whole thing. I love Saitama, sticking up for Chiranko, like, hey, you were the one who abandoned the dojo. Like, I stayed there, so I should be the one who takes down Garo, So I thought that was really, really cool. And the fact that Garo won the last martial arts tournament when he posed as Wolfman. So that was interesting. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. I do see here because after the end credit scene, I always pause basically right as the preview starts. But so I just see like this first image, and it does show the title of the next episode. So I do know that the next episode is called The Martial Arts Tournament. So I'll be interested to see how that's going to play out, how Saitama's going to do. I did also like, Moomin Rider saying it's like, oh, he's a hero, so he wouldn't impersonate you and go enter falsely into this tournament. He wouldn't do that. It's like, Saitama would do that. Like, just because he's a hero doesn't mean he doesn't do some stupid shit, But they don't have anything to worry about with him in there because no one's going to be able to beat him. That's the point. Who would win in a fight, Saitama or Goku? I've seen that was trending on Twitter recently, and you guys can go ahead and let me know what you guys think. I would say Saitama because that's the point. So, anyway. So yeah, that was interesting. And also just the fact that it's like, Chiranko is on the roof of the hospital, and then Moomin Rider's there, and it's like, I don't know how many times I've seen, like, if a character is in a hospital in anime, and then, like, there's a scene where they just go to the roof, and they're just, like, chilling on the roof for a little bit. Like, I don't know why that's a thing, Like, I don't know, but, like, it looks nice. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, man, that's a really nice roof. Like, it's... Like, it really, like, looks good. It's, like, well kept. Because people keep going up there, so they have to clean it every so often, So I don't know why, but I thought that was really... I just thought that was funny. It's a trope I can recognize in anime now. Like the anime trenches. I friggin' love anime trenches. And I first saw anime trenches in Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I see them, like, in other Yu-Gi-Oh! Shows, definitely. And then, like, in My Hero Academia and stuff like that. I just friggin' love anime trenches. So, but yeah, that's beside the point. But yeah, that's basically all I got for this episode. Really, really good. I'll be curious to see what's going to happen with Metal Bat versus Garo, as well as what's going to happen with Centauro, and how Saitama is going to fare in the martial arts tournament. Obviously, he's going to do well. Well, kind of. You could say that, but he might not. He might sort of throw the match, just because he's there to learn, basically, So, we'll have to see. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my One Punch Man reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.